Let me also quickly remind you why x to y dy by dx should be the slope of the tangent. Suppose we consider a small section on this graph, this very small section. Now, on going from the initial point to the final point within this small section, there will be some increase in x and there will be some amount of increase in y coordinate. Now, if we zoom this out, actually we are looking at this section of the curve, which is almost a straight line, because at this in this very narrow width, the curvature of the curve will not be actually experienced by us, and in the most accurate sense of approximation, we can consider this very small segment when we are zooming it out to be actually a straight line like this. And there's some increment in x and there's some increment in y. We can draw this triangle like this. Okay. Now, if we extend this line further and backwards, this actually becomes the tangent at this point. Now, if we draw the tangent, now if we are zooming the whole thing out, then the tangent will actually be those 3, 4, 5 points that we have taken on this curve. Those points will actually lie on the tangent. So this triangle actually is lying on the tangent to the curve, and this angle is actually the same as the angle which the tangent make with the x-axis. Because this is parallel to x-axis, these two are corresponding angles. So the angle with which the tangent makes is actually this angle is the same as the angle which the tangent makes. And if we consider this as a right angle triangle, which indeed it is, then tan theta is base perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is dy, is the small increment in y, and base is dx, is the small increment in x. So tan theta is dy by dx actually at this point. That's why we say that the dy by dx at a particular point is the tan of the angle which the tangent makes with the x-axis. This is actually the slope, tan theta. We refer to this as slope. So slope at any point is dy by dx. That's why I've been repeatedly saying that dy by dx is same as the slope of the tangent at that point. So this is settled. Now one more thing. Apart from this, we also settled that dy by dx is positive when the tangent is making acute angle, it is negative when the tangent is making obtuse angle. Okay, one more thing. See, dy by dx at this point in the left hand side at any point will be negative because they all make obtuse angle, and dy by dx at any point on the right hand side will be positive because they all make acute angles. Dy by dx at this very point, which is the minimum of the curve, will be 0. The reason why it will be 0 is, suppose we consider a straight line which is parallel to x-axis. Dy by dx is the increment in y upon increment in x. Now, when we go on a line which is parallel to x-axis, there is no increment in y. The y coordinate remains the same. It's only the x coordinate which is increasing. So dy is actually 0. There is no increment in y. So dy by dx will also be 0. Now, if we move on from left hand side to right hand side, dy by dx is negative, 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 less negative, less negative, less negative, 0. And then it goes to less positive, 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 positive. Now, why it is here 0 is because the tangent dy by dx is the slope of the tangent. The tangent at this point will actually be parallel to x-axis. If you can feel this, the tangent, the slope is becoming less, 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 less and less, and then it starts to increase. So the slope is negative and positive. From transition to negative to positive, at one point it has to cross 0. At one point the value have to be 0 because it is continuous transition, there cannot be any jump. and that point is actually this point, which is the point of transition. So at this point the tangent actually becomes parallel to x-axis and the slope of the tangent becomes 0 because the angle which it is making with the x-axis is 0, tan 0 is 0. So dy by dx, which is slope of the tangent, is 0 at this point. So this is important. At the minimum point, the dy by dx will be positive. Sorry, it will be 0. So dy by dx at the minimum position of the graph will be equal to 0. This is one conclusion.